Hello and welcome to another episode of Film Freaks with a Z, the podcast about movies. Each episode is about a specific movie, and we'll get to this episode's movie in a little bit. But first, we always need your recommendations, your movie recommendations for the next fan vote. Of course, the votes happen on Tay's episode. They're attached to Tay's episode. They will be only in the Discord from here on out. So if you're not a part of the Ferret Nation Discord, you're missing out on voting on our fate, deciding our fate for what movie will be next. But we always need your movie recommendations. You can either leave them in the YouTube comment section on the latest episode of Film Freaks with a Z, or you can send a message in the Discord in the movie stuff section, or you can send us an email at ff.filmfreakswithaz at the end at gmail.com. Or if you come on the podcast like Topos from last episode, you can suggest a movie right then and there. Let's go ahead and introduce ourselves before we talk about the movie. I am Yemmy the Furt, and I'm here with...
Greedy Waffles.
Taymation.
Ray positivity.
What's up, all? Have you had any gremlins in your cars lately?
Always.
Not.
Depends on the occasion.
I had a gremlin put a screw through my tire this past week.
Oh no.
Those pesky, pesky gremlins.
Yeah, they're a pain. But
Little
yeah,
weirdos.
what can you do about them?
One took my brakes out. Couldn't stop my car.
God damn. Well, yes, if you're listening to this and you don't know already, we're talking about Gremlins from 1984, directed by Joe Dante, not Mama. When Billy Peltzer is given a strange but adorable pet named Gizmo for Christmas, he inadvertently breaks the three important rules of caring for a mogwai and unleashes a horde of mischievous gremlins on a small town. And this stars Zach Galligan, Phoebe Cates, Hoyt Axton, Francis Lee McCain, Howie Mandel, and so many more.
Wait, Howie Mandel?
Oh yeah,
Where?
he voiced
Where? I didn't-
Gizmo.
The voice of Gizmo.
Fun
And
fact,
his
back in the
pesky
day-
voices.
Howie Mandel voiced a lot of kids' video games, and he used that kind of
Wow.
baby voice or whatever you want to call it,
Well,
the
like, he
high-pitched
was-
little voice.
Yeah, he was in Bobby. I mean, he did the voice of Bobby in Bobby's World, if anyone remembers Bobby's World.
Bobby's World.
Bobby.
Yeah, it's one of
Little
those things that's kind of it's kind of like stored in my memory banks as like a kid, but I don't remember it fully.
Huh.
Huh.
Yeah, no, I never knew that. Bright light, bright light.
Side
That's
note,
basically-
Tay, how old is your fat crested gecko?
we got it in 2000. It was born in 2019.
Okay, ours are 6 years old now.
Okay.
All right, that's the last one of those distractions that I'll have for
Everyone,
today.
everyone's like, what?
Go check out my Instagram if you want to see pictures of my cute fat gecko.
And he's not talking about his penis.
Oh,
No.
Word.
Why would you even say that?
Because it was funny.
I guess.
I think there's a gremlin in my brain right now.
Maybe. That'll explain it.
is the gremlin talking? It's not really yummy.
Fuck goblin mode. Where's gremlin mode at? You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck? So anyway, let's start this conversation off on a different foot here. First thing I want to talk about is just how Billy is like absolutely terrible at taking care
yeah.
of Gizmo.
Like, he breaks the rules like almost immediately.
Immediately.
Yeah, immediately.
Well, the water one wasn't him, but he didn't, explain the rules, and he just was just like, "Yeah, here, check it out. Oh, you got water on it."
Yeah,
Which is so surprising because the dog is, well, I guess well taken care of, but I guess he has the mom and dad help him with as well.
well, until
So
the dog like attacked
misbehaves
the
a ton.
yeah attacked that crazy lady who wanted to like kill him. Like she
Yeah.
had like a 5-minute monologue of how she was gonna
Oh
kill
yeah,
Barney
but
the dog.
F that lady, by the way.
Yeah, fuck that lady. I hated
Wanting
her
to
so
kill
much.
dogs. I hated her. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you were supposed to.
Well, yeah. But it's interesting
I-
because I mean, I guess spoiler alert. She's not the first one who dies. They kill off like the lovable drunk
Yeah.
guy in the bar first before killing off the evil lady.
Do they? I thought they killed the teacher off first.
Yeah.
Oh well,
The
yeah, that's
teacher
true. The
first.
teacher gets killed first, and then they killed the drunk guy, who didn't deserve to die, and then the lady dies. I mean, neither did the teacher. Well, I guess the teacher did take his blood though, so maybe he
Yeah.
did deserve.
And he
it,
didn't
however.
feed him.
That's
so.
true. He also didn't feed him.
I just love that the dad brings home Gizmo and was like, oh yeah, sure, go play with him. And then just completely forgets the rules. And he's like, oh yeah, these rules are really important. We can't forget them. I'm like, bruh, you forgot it in like 5 minutes.
It's like he
Yeah.
wasn't going to even mention it. And he's like, oh, yeah, by the way, that flash reminds me.
Yeah.
Like, what do you want to tell him before you open it?
Or like when she took out the camera with the flash ready to go, like, hold on
Yeah.
now.
Right.
Hold on. Light is bad for them.
What's so funny is like, it starts out with narration from the dad, and then he pretty much almost immediately just pieces out.
Yeah, he goes,
Yeah.
he goes to
Barely
some
in the
inventors,
movie.
inventors convention.
Yeah, and then at the end he's like, "Well, that's my story." It's like it's not your story. Fuck off.
That was barely your story. You weren't even there for like the actual
Yeah.
climax. Like you showed up afterwards. That was
Exactly.
already, the deed was already done, dude.
The hell, man. The hell.
I'm gonna bring home this thing that's gonna wreak havoc on everybody, and I'm just, gonna sit back and be at a convention where I do not belong.
Yeah, he was kind of like blissfully ignorant of the whole situation at home. You know, he like even when his wife wasn't picking up the phone, he was just like, "Oh, okay, I'm just heading home now."
His poor wife was in like survival mode. Like,
The mom was like the most competent one of
Yeah.
everybody. Like
Yeah.
she killed 3 gremlins like within like minutes
That
of them
scene
showing
was the
up.
best scene of the whole movie.
Yeah, that was the
Yeah.
most
That
badass
kitchen
scene.
scene, yes, awesome. 10 out of 10.
She got
Just
the
shows
3
up,
kill streak.
murders. Ah, it was great.
She got a UAV, guys.
Yeah, she got the UAV. Yeah, I love that. I love how she just immediately is just like, well, I'm killing these things.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So this is a little bit into the movie, but this just reminded me because she's immediately like, "Yeah, these things have to die. They're trying to hurt me."
Mhm.
And then later on, you hear like the radio guy saying, "Like the National Guard's here. We're gonna put the hose on them," and you're like,
No.
"This isn't a protest. Like what? I mean, you shouldn't be, doing that in protests either. But still, that's like." These things are killing people, and you're just like, well, let's just spray them with the hose. That'll stop them. Like, I know
Yeah.
they did it just to be like, oh, it's water. You're gonna get them wet. Don't do it. But it was just kind of dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is interestingly enough one of those movies that is way more violent than you expect it to be watching it nowadays.
Yeah.
Yes.
Especially because it's labeled as a comedy family film.
Yeah, well, there's a story behind that rating. My sister watched this movie back in the day when she was young, and she was deathly afraid of Gremlins for pretty much her entire life, I would think, up to this point.
I mean, that's fair.
And I remember watching it myself, and she like hid me behind the couch, and we were like, and she was like, "Don't watch this movie; it's so scary." And I was watching it, through like a crack, and I was like, "Oh, this is fun. I like this." And I was like, I don't know, 10 at the time or something like that,
Yeah.
11. Though I ended up enjoying it when I was a kid, but she was deathly afraid of the Gremlins.
Yeah. I loved it as a kid too. Like when I read that, I was like, this is not a kid family movie. Well, actually, I did watch it as a kid and loved it as a kid. So maybe.
it is.
Yeah,
I didn't
know,
watch it as a kid.
Yeah, I don't watch it either as a kid.
Well, you guys just aren't as cool as Yemmy and I.
I
Nah,
guess.
we're sheltered. Well, I was sheltered
Yeah.
at least.
I was pretty sheltered, but like my parents, they watched it with me. They didn't care.
Well, it said family on the
Yeah.
box, so they were like, "All right, this is fine."
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all
Going
good.
back to the movie being absolutely brutal, like that whole kitchen scene where she like throws the gremlin into like the mixer and
Oh,
then
yeah.
into like the microwave. I was like, dang it.
And not to mention the practical effects, pretty freaking good. Especially some of the puppetry during like the theater scenes and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
and that scene in particular where the mom's killing all the gremlins, like, and the one explodes in the microwave, like that's such a good
Mhm.
visual. And then the blender one is pretty good with the blood spurting everywhere. And there's a couple more things later on, like, I mean, even like the death of Stripe later on, like that was some pretty good visual effects there. Like it holds up pretty well. There's some puppetry that doesn't completely work here and there, but for the most part, the special effects are excellent.
I agree,
Agreed.
for sure. I miss those kinds of movies.
Yeah, nowadays they would just make all the Gremlins CG. And,
Seriously.
that'd
And
be
it
it.
would be rated R.
Yeah, it'd be rated R. And
Oh, man.
And they'll say not for family.
it'd still be rated like PG or something.
Yeah, for sure. Well, my sister, this is kind of like a side thing, but she showed my 8-year-old nephew The Sandlot, and he didn't know like half the references because it's not in kids content anymore, like chewing tobacco and like smoking and stuff. He had no idea what chewing tobacco was, and it's like, man, we knew what that was when we were like 5. Like
Yeah.
that
Wow.
was no
that's-
secret.
It's probably good though.
Oh, for sure, for sure. I'm not saying it's a bad thing at all. It's just crazy how much like time changes.
Yeah.
Now you expose that kid to Tabasco and
Tabasco.
not Tabasco.
Tabasco sauce.
Tobacco.
That
Oh,
stuff's some real
no.
shit.
No, not the hot sauce.
No, don't get the Frank's Red. Get the Tabasco.
You know
And-
that.
Well, nowadays it's more like vapes and whatnot.
Yeah.
Like that's the new kid thing. Well, I mean kid quote unquote
Sure.
thing. If you want to look cool, you got to vape. It used to be cigarettes and drinking.
Yeah. That's for sure.
What do you guys think of the wizard guy, the store owner?
Oh yeah.
The
Very
wizard?
The guy
Oh,
we
he
saw
kind
twice.
of is a wizard.
He's got like
I-
a beard, I guess.
And he
I'll
had the what is it called? He almost looked like Gandalf, honestly.
I was
Oh,
literally
yeah.
gonna
Oh,
call
but-
him the Chinatown Gandalf because
It's the Chinatown stereotype.
He didn't
well,
have
he
an
was in
accent, though.
Chinatown, right?
He didn't have an accent. That's good.
They kept saying Chinatown, but it sounded like his dad was overseas like the whole time.
I don't think he was. I think he was just in like San Francisco, Chinatown.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
so weird because they kept saying like I'm in Chinatown, but like, yeah, I guess I just didn't realize it because I thought they were like in China, and he just was calling it Chinatown because he's an ignorant American.
No, I
mean,
legit thought you were
yeah.
talking about like Chinatown, San Fran, or New York or something.
Yeah.
I hope so, at least.
Well, it makes
Yeah.
more
Yeah.
sense that they are in America because they're all speaking English. So yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, the son going behind his back and selling Gizmo to the dad, and then the wizard, as we'll call him, doesn't even show up until the end of the movie to take
Yeah.
Gizmo back. Like
Yeah.
you knew it was
Which
gone
we
for
saw
quite
more.
some time. Like
I mean, yeah, he would have to because like it's on the front counter. It sings. I guess maybe that whole time he was trying to find out where he was, and it wasn't until reports of gremlins attacking a small town that he was like, now I have to get money together to go on a plane, or maybe he just drove there or teleported. Maybe he
maybe just teleport.
Yeah, maybe so. But never know.
he is a wizard.
Is he?
Well, we saw the time machine from the movie The Time Machine. I'm pretty sure it's called, with the big disc in the background. So maybe he uses that to.
Hmm.
Yeah, never mind.
Maybe.
We're digging into this too much.
So the one major criticism I have for the movie is the pacing is pretty
Yes.
brutal,
Yes.
especially
horrible.
early on, and I just felt like we didn't get enough time with Gizmo and like the gremlin, like the regular, like the fluffy gremlin version of like Stripe and his gang. I feel like if they built the characters up more, I would have cared more that like Stripe was super evil and blah 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 blah. Like even though we get some scenes of like them throwing darts at Gizmo and whatever, and I do love Gizmo, don't get me wrong, but we needed more time with Gizmo. We needed more time with Gizmo and how the Stripe and the rest of his gang were different, and it just didn't. They took too long to get to that point, and then when you did get to the point that like Gizmo was multiplying and they were doing tests on the gremlins and they were transforming, like the movie was almost over at that point. It just took
Yeah.
forever to get
Yeah.
there.
I agree. And like Gizmo's so animated in the fact that like he's very sweet and gentle, and we don't get to see that enough to like
Mhm.
understand how bad that it can be. So I agree with you there.
I kind of agree. Like, I definitely agree. We could have had more time with Gizmo and see more of them. Um, that they're
Forming a
not.
bond.
Yeah. Well, like I kind of feel like it's more like Gizmo. It's been around for a while. The Chinese wizard man, trained him to be good, and Billy, as we know, is awful at that stuff. So he didn't train the new Gremlins, and that's why they are just kind of dicks.
Yeah, I guess.
Well, I mean, you get that a little bit at the end. He's like, "Wait, you let him watch TV?"
He's such a gentle little boy. He's so good.
He is so good, and the new ones were not. And I would have loved to see more of the dichotomy there between the two.
Yeah.
But I feel like it. I don't know. Like it, I thought it was paced pretty well. In that,
Uh,
like, I don't know. It's hard to explain.
No, I
And
disagree. I think the opening, like, I would say hour of the movie is just some of the slowest
Yeah.
build up that you could ever have in one of
Yeah.
these movies. And I feel like we don't spend enough time with the characters. Like, even though the movie feels super long, like, we still really don't know about Billy's girlfriend, and we don't. I mean, we obviously we get expedition dumps eventually, but we don't really know much about. They don't really have a relationship until towards the end. The teacher kind of just shows up out of nowhere. The dad's gone for half the movie. The mom's there, but she doesn't really do anything
Yeah.
until halfway through the movie. Like, there's not really much going on. And even after they introduce Gizmo, like, yeah, it's cute to see Gizmo and he's singing and blah 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 blah. But that's like over halfway into the movie now, and like we've had
Yeah.
nothing else before that to really establish anything.
Yeah.
They could have taken out all the parts about his dog and filled those in with like Gizmo or something
I
to
no, I
build the
do
character.
yeah, I definitely
Yeah.
agree with that. Like the whole point was to show this landlady that she's evil, but it's like all you had to
Yeah.
do is say she's a landlord, and we get the point.
Also fair. Yeah. I thought the
Um,
dog scenes were kind of pointless. Dog's cute. I like the
Yeah.
dog, but yeah.
But yeah, no, I agree. Like it would have been much better. And we don't necessarily. I don't even think we necessarily needed to see him buy Gizmo. It just been, if they had just started, you meet Billy, and then the dad shows up. It's like, I got you a present. You know,
Yeah.
and that would have saved some time. Um,
I don't know.
got us just right into things.
I kind of like seeing where Gizmo came from, though.
I do
I feel
too.
like. Yeah.
But-
Because how would you end it?
The
Because
same way,
Right.
you just, he just shows up. It's like, yeah, no, you guys aren't ready for this. You don't even have to say like, oh, my son sold it to you. Like maybe he did sell it, and he was just like, then he comes back. It's like, yeah, no, you're not ready for this.
I made an oopsie. Sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought you were, gonna be competent, but you aren't.
Well, I think after the dad showed him that all-in-one bathroom invention, he kind of figured like they weren't ready.
The
Yeah,
bathroom buddy is incredible. Okay.
I don't know. I feel like it's liable to like slit your throat or something. Like.
Honest to God. You go in to brush your teeth and the razor pops out.
Yeah, you're brushing
Yeah.
your teeth, going back and forth like Sweeney Todd, and all of a sudden, yeah,
You're
and-
dead.
Yep, you're dead. Oh, yeah, I liked Stripe's gremlin design, like when he's like the leader of the gremlin group, because he still has like the hair, like the stripe hair, the mohawk down his center.
yeah.
I really wanted to see more of like the gremlins in like the cutie form. I guess I'll call it. I feel like they transform
The
like
Furby
they
form.
yeah, the Furby form. I feel like they transform
they
super fast.
yeah, they transformed very fast. To evil.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Well, they started out evil.
well, yeah, they kind of started kind of evil, and then they full on evil. But yeah, I mean, like the second half of this movie is super and wildly entertaining. Like it is a quite a wild ride. But then But then the scene where Kate, Billy's girlfriend, talks about how like her dad got stuck in a chimney and
Yeah.
they didn't find him until like 3 months later.
Yeah, it was a
That
few days later.
that just kind of like struck me as like what the
Oh, yeah.
fuck? Like
Like, oh, okay.
This
We're
whole
doing this now.
movie, like, and I just love it because like she's like pouring her heart out to him, and at first he's just barely even paying attention. He's like,
Right.
whatever. I mean, he does pay attention in the end, but it's just this movie. Like, there's so many things about this movie. Like, I love it, but it's so dumb.
Yes. I love the movie theater scene when they're watching Snow White and they're just like
Yeah.
having the times of their lives. Like, yes, that was my favorite part of the whole movie.
Well, it's great, you know, because like they like singing, and it brings back the these guys still like singing, even though they're evil, crazy murderers.
They still have some squishy inside of them.
Yeah, like I said, the second half of this movie is like really good, but minus the scene where she just randomly starts talking about Santa Claus being dead. But
Well, yeah, because it doesn't even like she's just like, this is why I hate Christmas, but then it doesn't even come up ever again. They never mention it. He never says anything. He never even like. He kind of
Well-
like gives a look like, oh, that's terrible, but like he doesn't ever even.
And they don't
Like-
really allude to her hating Christmas that much. Like I know she talks about how some people are just super depressed around the holidays, and then
Yeah.
even the drunk guy who talks about the gremlins being in his tractor or whatever. He goes home, he has a wife, and like he has a loving wife and like whatever. It's like what are you trying to say here? Like
Yeah.
like before we knew that he had a wife and that he had a home and whatever. Yeah, he seemed like the depressed drunk guy, but he gets home and I mean, it seems like a normal household for the 80s or whatever. So it's like
It's just, and it's so sad that like they get taken out, and he's just like, there's a gremlin in my cab. I can tell everybody. Oh, I'm dead.
yeah. Well, once again, like didn't need to kill him off. I mean, I understand
Yeah.
killing as many people as you know from the movie off. Like even some of the side characters who you just see in the background get like unceremoniously
Yeah.
killed, like the mailbox and the pastor and the guy with the sideburns. I don't even know their names. I'm just describing them at this point.
They didn't have names.
Yeah,
They're
they probably
just-
yeah. Random citizen number 2.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and just going back to the design of the Gremlins, like really good job, like excellent
yeah.
design. And like I said, most of the puppetry is pretty good, like especially on Gizmo.
Yeah.
And when there's like that whole theater scene where they're all dancing and whatever or singing. I mean, it's a little Muppet-esque, obviously, but
Yeah, for
it's
sure.
it's very effective. Like it's totally believable, and it looks really good. I don't know if every single one of those puppets were actually there. It seemed like they were. It didn't. I mean, there's no illusion breaking moment for me, but
Yeah.
yeah, the fact that like they didn't really use any green screen in the movie, and there wasn't. I mean, this is obviously there. I don't think there was really any CG either. So like. Yeah, it's just like a very like if you're looking into special effects and you want to become a special effects person, like this is a good movie to watch for that second half where like everything is hitting the fan and the gremlins are doing a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, no, they did a really good job.
That's probably why I like it too. The movie theater scene, because it is very Muppet-esque. I didn't really think about that until you said it.
Yeah, it has that
Yeah.
Muppet charm where they're probably all just hand puppets at that point, but like they're going back and forth and singing and their mouths are opening and closing and it really was like a Muppet moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys
So-
have a favorite gremlin?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, most of the gremlins are the same, really.
Yeah, I'm about to say, aren't they?
The
all
only
the
ones that
same?
are really unique are Stripe and
Yeah.
Gizmo.
The bandit with the gun.
Yeah, the hooker gremlin. I love
The hooker
gremlin.
gremlin's great too. Yeah. I couldn't remember if she was, because I was kind of during that scene working on something, so I just had it in the background. I couldn't remember if she was in this movie or the second one.
She might be in both. I never saw the second, but I've seen clips from the second movie.
Yeah, I don't think she is. If she was in this one, Second one is pretty good though.
Yeah, I've not seen the other ones.
That's kind of
I've
rare.
not seen either.
Yeah,
A
no.
sequel to an 80s movie being good? Well, I guess there's RoboCop was a pretty good sequel. Terminator 2.
Yeah.
All right, never mind. I take it all back.
Yeah.
Terminator 2 is great. That's a great movie.
People love it more than the first one, so.
I do personally.
Well, I guess the next question is, what did everyone think of the Christmas theme?
Yeah.
Besides from Santa being stuck and dying in the in the chimney.
Well, that was my favorite part personally, but
I mean, with this being based around the holidays, and obviously with Christmas coming up here, this episode should be released before Christmas comes out. I wanted to pick a movie that was like a movie that not many people think of when they go, "Oh, Christmas movie. Let's put on Elf or Christmas Carol or Christmas Vacation." Like Gremlins isn't one of those ones that comes to mind because I think the Christmas backdrop is just a backdrop, but it's actually a pretty effective one, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's almost like those that just good.
Oh, sorry. I was just saying it's super like there. Like there's Christmas music is like the theme song or theme music soundtrack.
I just remember
That's
the final Gremlins song at the credits.
Oh, I love that song.
Very 80s, synth heavy.
Mm-hmm.
oh wait, no.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I mean, the Christmas music is integrated in there, and obviously a lot of the visuals are snow and Christmas lights and all that. My other question is, would this movie be as effective if it wasn't based like during Christmas? Like, what if it was like Thanksgiving, Halloween, 4th of July, Ann Arbor Day?
Kids gets it as a Christmas present.
His birthday could be around the holiday.
Okay, but it could be like Thanksgiving, and that could be like a Black Friday type gift type situation. Could you imagine a gremlin popping out of a turkey? Like, I think Thanksgiving would have been a better holiday in my opinion.
You could do. You could. A lot of people do turkey for Thanksgiving. I'm sorry, Christmas. They could have done that.
Yeah.
Huh. Well,
Although
they
you don't.
should've.
Yeah. Talk about like a turducken, which is a duck inside of a chicken or whatever. Now we have a gremducken.
I'm Turkin.
A gremturkin.
Turkin.
Yeah,
No,
I
seriously,
think
like
Halloween
I think
probably would
Christmas
have been
is a
too
good one.
cliche. Yeah, Halloween would have been too cliche. Thanksgiving would have been funny. Christmas is fine. 4th of July would have made no sense.
Yeah.
that would have been funny.
Valentine's Day. Well, he could have given it as a gift to Kate for like Valentine's Day.
Oh,
Maybe
man.
could have worked. And the Valentine's Day dance, the Gremlins would attack the dance.
They could seriously do it for almost every holiday, and it would be hilarious.
Who's behind this movie? Warner Brothers or?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
Yeah, well, whoever did Gremlins, call me up. I got plenty of ideas for the reboot of the series. So yeah, actually now on Amazon it's called comedy horror. So they took out the family part on Amazon.
on HBO where I watched it, it's still listed as family.
Oh, is it?
On IMDb, it says comedy, fantasy, and horror.
Yeah, that works too. Fantasy, I guess. Yeah. Cosmic. Well, no, that's not cosmic. Well, maybe kind of cosmic. Who knows where the Gremlins came from? They're kind of alien in nature.
I heard a kitty.
It too.
My bad. It's just
Alright.
Tyson saying meowdy.
Ray,
Is
what do
it
you
a gremlin?
what do you think of no cats being in this movie? I guess Tay, question to you too.
There were cats in this movie.
Where? Oh,
The
yeah,
landlady had cats.
Yeah, the landlord
Yeah.
lady had cats. Well, associate with a negative character. What do you feel about?
I
how do
know.
you
I
feel
know
about
that. I immediately thought about that when they came up.
I
I was
did
like, oh
too.
yeah, sure. Make her the cat,
The crazy cat.
lady,
Yep.
just because she's evil.
That's how it always is.
Yeah.
Cats are from Satan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, her death scene. I know we already kind of touched on it, but not as brutal as I was thinking it was gonna be. But I mean, she gets like that little that little electric chair. Like she really gets going on that and flies out the window. It's a pretty. It's
That was a little
pretty
over the top.
entertaining. I mean, a little. I mean, obviously this whole movie is kind of over the top, but that was.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
I think it's funny that when she flies out the window, the cops driving by just sit there and go, "Huh,
Yeah, they don't do
that's so
anything.
and
Yeah,
so," and then they look over to the across the street and someone else is being attacked. They're just like, "Huh, well, we should
Yeah.
go." It's like, do your goddamn job.
yeah. The cops are the Santa's getting killed, and cops are
Yeah.
just like, "Oh, look, he's at it again." We're like, don't you see the gremlin litter right on your window?
Right? Yeah.
Another
was
point is, why doesn't anyone clean their cars on? Like, literally, they're like, oh,
Oh my gosh, I noticed that too. They were all
Because I wanted
covered.
it to look gritty or something.
Well, they
just
got it.
driving by the vision of the windshield wiper.
Oh boy.
Yeah, those police officers, kind of funny in the station. And when they get out to the field, it's just kind of like a little bit embarrassing, you know. They're just watching people die, and they're like, "Let's get out of here!"
Yeah.
Oh no!
I don't blame him.
And
Yeah.
then they never came back.
Yeah, but we're not
Sure they
sworn to
didn't.
protect the public, you know. Like,
Oh, they have to protect property. You know,
Yeah.
that's what they're really there for.
well, the lady got thrown out of her window. Is that not property damage?
Nah, well.
Yeah, it's private property.
Just not her.
As long as they don't touch the police station, they don't have
Yeah.
to do anything.
or like government buildings. Yeah.
Well, they were trying to make that bar into a landmark, but I guess
Mm.
didn't go through in time, so they don't have to care about that either.
Yeah.
Well, does anyone else have anything they want to mention about Gremlins?
I think I did. Let me think.
I know it's not
I had
super
stuff.
long.
Yeah, it's not long. I feel like it's actually it's a very good length for this type of movie. You don't need it to be long.
Yeah.
Yeah, they definitely
Like, they-
didn't
like-
need to add any more scenes.
Yeah,
to the
like
opening.
there was definitely some scenes they could have cut and replaced with more scenes of like Gizmo and stuff, but and yeah, it's just the movie is just it's so cheesy and I love it. If you haven't seen it before, go. I hope it's still on YouTube. It's an old Cracked video with Daniel O'Brien, and he just talks about this movie, and it's perfect. It sums it up perfectly. So you should look that up, and I can send you guys the link.
Yeah.
But
correct
it's
video, as in like a recording of a video.
no, like crack.com.
That
This was
sounds
back-
like a bad website.
It's not. It was like a college humor kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they unfortunately like all of those companies, they had the corporate offices all just went, you know what, I want money, so we're just bankrupting you guys and taking the money and running. and they got-
Capitalism.
Yeah, and then they got so that all those people, my favorite people, they all lost their job and went off and did other things, and then Cracked is back, like new ownership and stuff, but most of the original cast, there's a few have come back, but most of them were like, nah, we're done.
Mm.
So, and Daniel O'Brien was my favorite. Everyone loved Daniel. He was just so awkward and weird. He represented all of us. But he was hilarious too. So, go find people in the audience listening. Go find his videos on YouTube, especially with the one about Gremlins, because it's what's the word? My brain just went dead. It's what we're talking about.
On topic.
It's on topic. Yes, thank you.
I got you.
But yeah, I don't think I have anything else. It's just a great movie. It's dumb and cheesy and wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy to see how much Howie Mandel's career has changed from since
Oh,
he was
yeah.
doing like voice work and stuff like that. Obviously, he's a germaphobe now, so he shaved himself bald and he likes to
is
be
that why he
clean.
did that?
Oh yeah. And then I mean like yeah, like this was kind of like a break for him, I guess. But I mean, people really knew Howie Mandel's name once he started up Deal and Deal or No Deal,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
he started
Mhm.
hosting the America's Got Talent.
Yep.
And then, fun fact, he posted a picture of a prolapsed anus on his TikTok.
Oh.
That's the only
Okay.
reason Yemmy's bringing up this whole story. No kidding. He just likes some prolapse.
It was so funny. It was the funniest thing ever. It really was.
Was there any context, or is it just?
Oh, go listen to.
Yeah.
Nope.
I mean,
Kind of not.
He's
actually.
he's a comedian first and foremost, so
That's fair.
Well,
it was funny.
so his claim is that he thought someone had sat on a cake, a wet cake, and he didn't realize that it was a prolapsed anus until someone told him. He posted the video with the joke of like my friend Neil bent over and this is what happened. What do we do about it? Is this COVID related? And then he said ow, and he posted the TikTok. And he went to sleep
Wow.
for like for a nap, and then when he woke up, his phone was blowing up, and he took it down after that. But it was up for quite some time before he learned of his wrongdoing. But it's meme
Classic.
legend at this point.
Classic Howie Mandel.
Yeah, all that Howie showing prolapsed anuses on TikTok.
Ew.
But it was just during a year of 2021, it was definitely a much needed comedic moment of the year, you know.
That's fair.
Okay, and on that note,
Yeah.
do we have anything else we want to say about Gremlins?
Good
take-
movie.
I think I'm good.
I think I'm good too.
Yep.
All right, I'll start us off with the final review and rating. Yeah, I think that this is a pretty fun movie. It just has some, in my opinion, some pacing issues, especially towards the beginning. I really wanted to see more of Gizmo and Billy and Stripe and them as little Furbies, as Ray put it. I do think that Howie Mandel should have won an Oscar for his performance as Gizmo. And Billy's mom was like the best character in the movie, and she got nerfed after that first fight with the Gremlins. I feel like if she had stayed in fighting position, she would have totally killed all the Gremlins in one swift move, faster than how Billy and Kate did it. But
Yeah.
in all seriousness, I think that this is a pretty fun movie. I love the final act of the movie. I think the final act is where it's the strongest, but the rest of the movie is a general fine. The start is a little bit boring, but it does pick up pace around the halfway point, and it does end fantastically. And the special effects are top notch. I mean, if you're looking for a movie with great special effects, there's of course The Thing, and then there's also Gremlins. I will start recommending Gremlins to people who want to see good classic special effects. So all in all, after this conversation, I did bump my score up a half a point. I'm giving it a 3.5 out of 5.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I wish we saw more of Gizmo. I really do like the scene with Gizmo in it. I think the Christmas time setting is fine. I really hated the bank lady for I don't know what reason. I just as soon as I met her, I was just like, oh gosh, here we go.
You actually met her?
Well, yeah, actually met her. Just in the movie when she was first introduced. Yeah, and the pacing was a little rough at times, but I think the kitchen scene was the best scene in the movie. The mom was total badass during that part of the movie. I really enjoyed that part, and there were some fun, kills, I guess you can say. But some of them were over the top, like the stair, whatever you want, chair lift, I guess you'd call it. But there was a few others as well. But overall, after talking to you guys, I also raised it up half a point. I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5.
Okay. Overall, like this is it's just such a dumb movie, but I love it. It's just how do I explain it? Like I don't think it's just nostalgia. Like even if I just saw this for the first time, because I feel like watching it over and over throughout the years, I've noticed more of the dumb things about it. So maybe on the first time I wouldn't necessarily go like, okay, this is dumb, but it's so fun. It's just what the hell. And I like the setting. I like most of the characters. The ones you're supposed to hate, you hate. Um, the logic of most of these people is just like wild. Like no one would be, no one would do this. But either way, it's dumb. It's fun. I love it. Um, yeah, I'll give it a 3.5 out of 5 as well.
Nice. Oh,
It's you.
it's me. I actually really enjoyed it. I think I like the classic 80s feel of it because obviously it was from the 80s, but the music and how it was shot even some of the scenes like they just had the whole 80s vibe and I really enjoyed that. I enjoyed the puppets, I guess we would call them puppets. Sure. I thought that they did an amazing job for that. I don't know if this movie got any awards. It definitely should have. If it did not, I'm sure it did. But yeah, mom was BA.
Mhm.
She was great. She was probably my favorite out of the whole thing. Dad was useless. Um, Gizmo, absolutely precious, and I do wish we had more time with him rather than the dog, or just pacing it better to where we would have more character development for him, even the kid, because we don't really know much about him either. But anyway, I'm gonna give this a 3.75.
Oh, okay.
You've just messed up our whole rating system.
Fun fact. Apparently, Gremlins 3 is in production. Presented by Steven Spielberg. It's supposed to release Christmas Day of this year.
Stop.
But there's like been no information about it since they posted the IMDb page. So
Yeah.
I don't think it's coming out
Even
this Christmas.
Spielberg? Oh my god.
Well, Steven Spielberg did these first ones. Like he was the producer of these.
Yeah, he didn't direct them, but he produced.
Yeah.
So
Huh.
yeah, keep an eye out for Gremlins 3 in theaters Christmas Day.
Maybe coming to the theaters
Maybe.
soon.
Maybe, probably not. I don't know.
Eventually.
Let me just Google it really quick. Gremlins 3, because
I thought when I was looking up Gremlins, I saw things for Gremlins 3, but I was like, oh, that's just fake or people being hopeful that they should do a Gremlins 3 kind of thing.
yeah, I guess it's supposed to come 2024 now, but
Hmm.
it's one of those productions things that are like, is it happening? Is it not happening? It's in production. Is it actually in production? I don't know.
Yeah.
I wonder if the strike had something to do with that.
Possibly,
Probably.
or maybe even COVID. I don't know how long Gremlins 3
That's
has been in
true.
production, but
Probably both.
yeah.
They're like, finally, we can work on it. Nope, psych.
Yeah. And who knows how many like scripts have been. Holy crap! This article goes all the way back to 2015.
Oh my.
This has been around for quite some time. Well, hey,
Eventually.
keep an eye out. Christmas Day, 2023,
Yeah,
folks.
That's
Okay.
kind of like I said, that's what when I saw it on
Get hyped.
like on the internet while looking up stuff for it, I was just like, yeah, it's not real.
Well, you know what is real? The recommendation that Greedy Waffles is going to give to us right now.
Ayo.
Is it real though? Is it?
Just fantasy?
All right, so I'm gonna try to stick around with the holiday spirit, even though this episode will be coming out after Christmas, I think, right? Yeah.
Yes.
But you all can live with it. So the
I
movie
quit.
that The movie I want to recommend is a personal favorite of mine when I was younger, but I haven't seen it in quite a few years, so I think it's time for a good revisit. The movie I will be recommending is Home Alone from 1990.
Let's go. I've already watched it
I
like 3 times.
Oh no.
Let's go.
Pretty easy synopsis. I'm sure everyone's seen it by now, but like I said, it would be a good
No.
revisit because I haven't seen it in a couple years. An 8-year-old troublemaker mistakenly left at home must defend his home against a pair of burglars on Christmas Eve. Directed by Chris Columbus. Stars what's his name?
Macaulay.
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 Macaulay
Culkin.
Culkin.
Culkin. Joe Pesci.
Pesci.
Man, I can't name Daniel Stern. And who? There's a
No,
bunch
that's actually it's pronounced Daniel Stone.
of Stern. John Hurd. Catherine O'Hara. Roberts Blossom. A bunch of other people.
Hey,
So,
Daniel Stern was in Chud. Let's go.
let's go.
yeah.
So it must be good. So yeah.
All right, sounds good.
Great movie.
I have not seen this one in a little bit myself.
Yeah, I've not seen it for quite some time.
Oh
Well,
my
I
God.
hope it stands up with us, and it sounds like it does for Ray. So
I hope you know that I mean 3 times this year. Like,
Yeah,
okay.
I knew that's what you meant.
What's another one?
I'm pumped. I'm excited. Let's go.
well, according to previous person, Callus,
No,
if you watch it within 2 years,
No,
you're good.
no,
Yeah,
it's if
6
you watch
months.
it within 6 months, you're
Wow.
good.
Same thing.
Oh, I just want to be safe, so I think I'll watch it again.
No, I mean,
You just want to watch it
Yeah,
again.
just
Yeah,
watch-
but it sounds like we're twisting our arm, guys.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. This is torture.
so yeah, if you don't want to be spoiled for Home Alone from 1990, make sure you watch that before the next episode airs in 2 weeks. You can find this on Amazon, Apple TV, Vudu, YouTube, etc., etc. But yeah, and of course, if you want to submit your recommendation to the podcast, just either comment on the latest episode of the YouTube episode, go to the Discord and talk in the movie stuff chat, or send us an email, as I already mentioned. And we always love to have more recommendations to sift through because they do get recycled a lot. So, we always like to see new stuff popping up. And just as a reminder, I'll probably say this like 5 more times before it actually happens. The vote is only happening in my Discord. Twitter is dead to me. My Discord is where it will be held. If you want to vote, it'll be there.
Well, actually, Twitter is dead. It's called X now.
What are you talking about?
Gross.
Nothing. There's nothing that exists called X.
I'm about to press X on this call right now.
Ew.
Hey.
Hey, it's a new segment at the end of the show. Does anyone have any small recommendations for the audience?
See Godzilla -1. It's a pretty good movie.
I'm planning to see. We were gonna see it this weekend, but Topos gets scared easily, so he decided.
What?
So he's
Well-
like, maybe we see Bird and the Heron instead. So we did.
You should let Topos know that Godzilla kind of looks like a guy in a suit. They designed it after the original Godzilla design, so maybe
Sounds
that'll
like
I
more
also-
like a robot instead of a
Yeah.
kind of suit.
I hear it's still kind of like one of the scariest Godzilla movies.
I don't. It was
And he-
scary.
Apparently, yeah. Well, he gets apparently scared very easily. He
Uh,
can't
well,
do any.
Next
type
time
of
he's on the
Oh.
podcast, we're gonna pick on him a little bit.
It's scary because this version actually shows more than 5 minutes of Godzilla.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But
But yeah,
that-
no, we're planning on seeing that this week for
That's
sure.
the thing I liked about it was it definitely harkens back to the old school Godzilla. Like,
Mhm.
he definitely looks like. I mean, he moves very rigidly because it's like the guy in the suit back in the day would move that way. And since this one isn't made by an American studio, it's actually pretty good. It's actually got a pretty deep story, a little bit slow at times, but fairly. I mean, really. I mean, for Godzilla movies, it's pretty good. So definitely worth checking out.
Nice.
Cool.
I recommend everyone trying eggnog at least once, and if you hate it, try it again because it's delicious.
I've had eggnog before.
I love it. I think it's great.
Yeah, I wouldn't
Lots
say
of
that I
people
love
don't,
it,
though.
but I'll take a sip here and there.
Yeah, I'm not a
That's
huge
fair.
fan of it.
I can't do a full glass of it.
That's fair. I do like half a wine glass, if that, of it, because it's very rich. But I think it's great.
Core memory unlocked for me. McDonald's had an eggnog milkshake for the longest time for
They
Christmas
did.
when I worked there, and I drank the whole thing in like a couple seconds for a dare, and I immediately vomited afterwards.
Oh yeah, that'll do it.
Hey, another fun fact: they're bringing back the snack wrap
Are they
for
really?
McDonald's, but not until 2025. Gotcha.
Well, that's why. Why would you do that?
It's
So
because
mean.
they have to reproduce. Like they used to have those chicken tenders. As a person who worked at McDonald's, I know the ins and outs. They used to have the chicken tenders, and when the snack wraps went away, they stopped producing the chicken tenders that McDonald's uses. So they probably have to find a new source for the chicken tenders, get a new source for the tortillas, make sure that they have the adequate equipment in the buildings now to make them, and that's probably the process that they're going through right now. But much like video games,
Grow
they
their own
revealed
chickens?
it way too early. 2 years
Yeah.
out is kind of crazy for McDonald's food. Get hyped.
Yeah.
The Angus burger's coming back in 2030. Let's go.
2030, or like their pizza that they used to make.
Oh, God.
Gosh. Get hyped.
You know what
It
I miss
was.
though? Those little like salad shakers. Do you guys remember those? They would
I-
literally just.
I do. I think I do remember those.
Mhm.
Oh my god, they were so good. Oh, they're so
Like
good.
ranch on them. Yep.
Yeah, like you shake them. Oh.
Oh,
Delicious.
let's go for this is for Greedy Waffles. Let's go through everyone's favorite salad dressing. Greedy, why don't you start?
Okay. So it's actually changed. Like I think I just grown older and more wiser. Now, so number one, balsamic. Gotta go
Wow.
classic balsamic. Number two, depend where the ranch is from, but maybe ranch. Like if it's like the restaurant, and yes, there are different types of ranch. I will
Oh,
stand
yeah.
high on that mountain.
I will
And
No,
people
I
are
mean,
like,
yeah.
all the
Wingstop
everyone's
ranch
like,
is
"Oh, this
totally
is-"
different from other ranches.
and people are like, oh no, they're all the same. No.
No, those
Um,
people are stupid.
So if it's the restaurant ranch, which is more water, I guess, like delicious, that's two. But if it's not, then Italian. And then three, are we just doing top three?
I thought we were just doing top number one, but you went
Oh,
into it.
okay.
I like
Oh,
top
well,
three. I like top three.
You brought up salad dressing. You brought up
Oh
a
yeah.
passion of mine.
Go ahead. Number three. Number three.
I said so ranch or Italian for number two, and number three probably the classic Caesar.
Okay. All right. Ray.
My number one is Italian. Two probably raspberry vinaigrette,
Oh.
and
Ooh.
three balsamic.
There you
Sure.
go.
Tay.
Hey,
Yummy doesn't eat salads.
I
I
don't
do.
eat
I do.
salads
Have,
either.
I have favorite salad dressing though because I'm a
His
I'm a
doesn't
man
count
of
as good
culture.
as it's gonna be blue cheese.
Well, yeah.
Ew.
Number one is blue cheese.
oh
Blue
man,
cheese dressing. Number two is Caesar because it's most like blue cheese. And number three is Italian because Mamma Mia, I'm Italian. What do you know? I'm walking here. Okay. So
Okay.
that
But no.
Oh, I
okay.
don't eat salad either.
Oh,
so-
okay.
wow.
do you partake in the ranch dipping?
I mean, I'll occasionally use like, it's a type of ranch, but it's for chips.
That counts.
Sure.
So are you a ranch guy or a blue
Ranch for
cheese guy?
chips? Wait, no.
It's
hold
like
on.
no ranch chip dip.
It counts. just let
Ranch
Tay have this.
chip dip.
Yeah, it's like just Tostitos.
I've seen it before. It's like the hell of a good
Yeah.
dip.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
I don't know if it's a
There is
Tostitos
also
brand.
a Pringle ranch chip, which is pretty good.
Well, that sounds delicious.
Top 10
But yeah, it's just in
ranches.
grocery stores if you want to try to find it.
I definitely will. 'Cause that
Yeah,
sounds
good.
awesome.
I've had the hell of a good dip ranch dip, which is pretty good, and their French onion is pretty good too.
That makes
Yeah.
me want to have.
You have to be
careful.
careful. I have like one time they were out, so we grabbed a different like a different brand, and it was not good.
Ain't
Mm.
that the story of shopping?
there used to be a brand of I think it was like French onion dip or something. Back home, there used to be
They
like an
have-
actual.
They have that one too, Tostitos.
It's very good. I miss that my home brand though.
Well, there's Tay's
Mm.
small recommendation: Tostitos. Tostitos.
I guess, yeah. They make good chip dips.
All right. Well, now that we've made everyone listening hungry, let's go ahead and end the show here. Thank you for listening. Really appreciate that. Our Spotify numbers going up. They're positive this year, which is good. You know.
Hey, let's go. You're
And-
welcome.
Yes.
Now,
Well, I will say I got the little wrapped thing for the podcast, and the #1 episode was "All Dogs Go to Heaven" on
Hey.
on the podcast form. So pat yourself on the back, Ray. You brought in some new listeners.
It was all me. You're welcome. I'll be expecting my royalty check.
They
Yeah.
mentioned a check.
y'all getting paid?
I ain't.
All right, before
a
any more
great
questions
French
get asked, I am Yemmy the Ferret, and I've been here with,
Greedy waffles.
Say, Mation.
Ray positivity.
and this has been Film Freaks with a Z. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.
See ya.
Bye.
Watch out for them gremlins.